Welcome back to Better Living. I'm here with Dr. Rogowski from PediatriCare. I'd say that 3 times fast. Associates, PediatriCare Associates. He is a local pediatrician, and we're going to talk about vaccines. That is certainly a hot topic right now, and in the news a lot. Everybody's talking about it.
It is. It's the topic of the day.
I'll bet that you get a ton of questions in your office.
We do. And, you know, the biggest fear now is I think we are on the verge of a potential public health crisis. With the number of people that are exempting out of vaccines, whether it be for religious reasons or just philosophical reasons, what has happened is we've resurrected sleeping giants. Diseases that were once, you know, put by the wayside
that we didn't have to worry about.
Right, almost eradicated, are now making a resurgence.
That has definitely got to be a concern for you. Tell us, remind those who haven't done their research and don't know, give us kind of a glimpse in that pre-vaccine era. What was it like before we had the vaccines?
So before vaccines, let's just take a few vaccine preventable diseases. For instance, polio, maybe 20,000 cases per year. Whooping cough, 9,000 deaths per year. Measles, over 500,000 cases with 500 deaths every year.
Wow.
And then Haemophilus influenza, the most common cause of meningitis in young children and the most common cause of postnatal mental retardation. All of those have now been almost completely eradicated.
What do you tell parents that don't want to vaccinate their children, or that refuse to?
Well, it's first and foremost, we tell them, I try to provide them with the literature, give them a sense of what the science is, and try to reason with them, if you will, about the benefits of vaccines and the benefits of not only vaccinating their own children, but the potential benefits for other children around them.
Why do you think that people are not vaccinated? Why is there the protest against vaccination?
I think there's a number of reasons. Certainly, if we look back, we are probably victims of our own success. We've done such a great job in eliminating disease that people they're not familiar with what the disease looks like or the devastation associated with it. So people embrace other types of philosophies. They may embrace alternative medicines. They have a distrust of the state, so the state government, who is mandating vaccines in a variety of ways. And then probably the largest problem is the safety of vaccines and their concern, especially about the association with autism.
And what, do you feel that there is a concern for the safety of vaccine, with the safety?
No. If you look at the scientific literature, that has all been refuted. These days, I think we are well aware of the fact that vaccines are not associated with autism or pretty much any other potential devastated disease. Yeah.
Sure. And I get parents wanting to prevent autism or any other, but if there's not an association with the two,
right,
it doesn't make sense to not do that. I do understand that. Do you have experience with those diseases that could have been prevented with vaccines? I
do. I mean, if we look back, we have been in an era where we've seen polio come full cycle. We've seen it from disease to epidemic to cure. One of my best friends when I was young had polio.
My uncle did.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a victim of measles, mumps, chickenpox. I've had all of those diseases. I've seen them all. In my training, H-flu, which was the common cause of meningitis in young children, we were replete with patients in the hospital with that disease and the devastation that it brought. So yeah, I have all the experience, and unfortunately those people who are younger, much younger than I, have never seen these diseases. Even my residents who I train are not familiar with the diseases.
I only know polio because I remember them talking about my uncle having it. He's just a few years older than me, but I don't remember, you know, back then, I don't remember that. And, you know, even people my age, which is not young, just for the record, we don't remember measles. You know, we all had chickenpox. That was before the chickenpox vaccine was out, but we don't remember measles either.
In fact, we used to have chickenpox parties. Yeah, and those have gone by the wayside.
We all 5 got it one Christmas, so it was a nice Christmas at home.
Yeah, my children were the same. They all got it right around Easter.
Oh, so, well, it must be a holiday disease for some reason. What can parents do who have some concerns about vaccines? What should they do?
I think first and foremost, they should avoid the lay literature, because it is replete with so much misinformation.
The internet's not necessarily a good place.
It is not your
is it?
friend.
Yes.
It is not your friend. Seek out scientific information. Talk to your pediatrician. Talk to people who are knowledgeable about vaccines and the benefit that they provide, rather than relying on national figures who continue to fuel the debate about any association between vaccines and other illnesses.
That makes sense. I would think that the lack of vaccines or people not vaccinating puts the medical community in a difficult situation.
It really does. I mean, we get sectors of the population that are susceptible to these disease entities that were once, foregone. But it's interesting because measles now has made a resurgence, and yet people are unaware of the fact that last year in the state of Ohio, we had 380 cases of measles in the Amish population. So
nobody was talking about it.
No one was talking about it, and that's a sector of the population that refuses vaccine for religious beliefs. That disease came over from the Philippines, where it's endemic, and it spread like wildfire through that community.
Well, if you have concerns about vaccines, you want to talk to somebody about it, or perhaps you need to get your children vaccinated, you can always call Dr. Rogowski. Visit him at PediatriCare. I did it right this time,
Yes, you did.
PediatriCare Associates. Thanks for coming on today.
My pleasure.
We'll be right back on Better Living.